Hello guys, Robert1 here, coming at you with a new Yu-Gi-Oh video, Duels and Deck Profiles, a segment on my channel where we talk about decks that are coming out later in the game, currently in the game, or just decks in general that I feel like I want to show on the channel. Now, today we are going to be looking at a deck that we have already known quite a bit about, Altergeist, but with a slight difference. And this difference is the Numeron cards. So you've got Numeron Wars, Numeron Networks, Numeron Cooling, and the numbers 1, 2, 3, and 0. Now, obviously, Altergeist in a whole are a very control-based deck, but I thought, seeing as the Numeron cards could be splashed in pretty much any deck, I would show off a deck profile where I kind of splash them in with Altergeist. Now, I've been having fun testing this deck here and there. It is a very degenerate strategy, seeing as literally you just make if you open the way to get to Numeron Wall, which you have literally 7 cards in your deck that say Numeron Network, and basically then you just make S0 and you look at your opponent and you're like, hi. I'm going to stop you from playing the game. So I thought I would show off this a bit because this is obviously one of the more degenerate combos in the game right now, being that it really does say what the Numeron cards will do in the game when they come out, seeing as they literally say, I'm just going to prevent my opponent from playing the game whatsoever on turn 1, and how this deck can also be splashed into any back row deck, like literally any deck that can play this, such as Chainburn, Elderlich, Altergeist, Guru Control, literally any of these decks can play this engine and make S0 turn 1, putting an extra layer of disruption onto your opponent's board. So, guys, we're going to be going into the deck profile now just to show you what the basic deck is and give you an idea of what it does, and then we're going to go into some duels to show you what the deck can do. So, starting off with the Altergeist half of the deck, we play 1 Konkuri because it says negate attacks, 3 Marionetta because it says set our Altergeist traps from the deck, 1 Moi Faker because we have to play our 1, 2 Ash Blossom. I'm feeling that the hand traps are less and less relevant in the game with the fact that people just keep making more and more boards that are really hard to break and have multiple ways to get around it. So I kind of felt like bumping Ash Blossom too. Altergeist Siliquitus, she is Compulse and Kieran in 1 card, can also recycle our Altergeist traps. 1 free Meliseek because Meliseek says I'm going to attack you directly, remove a card on your board and just go to the next plays. Free Numeron Wall because it searches our field spell, and is also a type of battle fader. When your opponent attacks you directly, negate the battle phase. Triple Pot of Extravagance because this card says draw 2. If you do have the Numeron Wall, though, I do suggest you don't do this because you could be banishing your number cards to make your Hope Zexal. 1 Terraforming because it searches our Numeron Wall as well. 1 Numeron Cooling because you're not going to get it off more than once per duel, so you only really need 1. 2 Numeron Network because this is the card that literally says you can summon out 1, 2, and 3. Triple Impermanence because it is one of the best hand traps in the game. 2 Altergeist Manifestation because it gives you more advantage in Altergeist and also summons back your Altergeist monsters. 2 Paleozoic Dino Miscus because this card says you can discard a card, be it a dead Numeron Network, be it a dead Numeron Wall, and banish 1 card on the board. You can also 1 Protocol because this card says protect Altergeist from being negated and also can negate monster effects. Triple Altergeist Spoofing. This card says search any Altergeist card in the deck. Searches Mortal Figure. We got to play it free. 1 Imperial Order because Imperial Order is one of the most busted cards in the game. 2 Solemn Strike because I felt like 3 wasn't really needed, so 2 is all we really need. Triple Solemn Judgment as well because Solemn Judgment gives us that additional bonus of being able to negate anything. For the edge deck, 1 Relinquished Anima because this card, if your opponent screws up, lets you steal opponent's cards. 1 Almirage because of if you open the Silcatus and a Manifestation, free Compulse on your opponent's turn. 3 Link Kariba because it's just the best generic Link 1 tuner in the game. Triple Hextia because she is the best Altergeist Link monster in the game. 1 Nightmare Unicorn for disruption. 1 Access Code Talker because we get to go ahead and destroy cards on the board. Majority 2, and it can't be chained 2, and also could be potentially a 4 free beat stick. 1 Boral Sword because he says OTKs. 1 S Zexal because she says I'm not going to let my opponent play the game. And then 1 3, 2, and 1 because Numeron Network is in the deck. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into some gameplay videos to show you what the deck can essentially do. So, refresh it up, and we'll go ahead and go against Yu-Gi-Oh! JSY. Why'd you go GSI? So, Hopefully this opponent will accept the game very quickly, and he has. And we are going to go rock. He is going to go rock. We're going to go scissors. He's going to go scissors. So we're going to go rock again, and we got hit with the paper. So it looks like we'll be going second. Not the best for all guys, but we did have the Numeron network, so we would have had the entire play. So it looks like he is playing a level 1 spam deck. Interesting. I'm going to allow him to have his Mystic Piper because I don't have an Altergeist multi-faker in hand anyway, so there's no point in trying to stop it. He's going to go ahead and draw an Impermanence. That's not really going to prevent me from doing anything. He goes ahead and activates a Board Desires to draw 2 cards. Is he going to have anything else along these lines as well? And I just realized I need to change the background for EDOPro. I had to re-download it and I had to uninstall it and reinstall it because of they had an update and the update didn't update, so I needed to go ahead and go into the software and upload the things. So he goes ahead and sets free and passes. Our turn for draw. So we drew an Altergeist Marionetta, but what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and activate the Numeron network. And we're going to go ahead and activate network, sending Calling to the Grave. We're going to go ahead and summon 1, 2, and 3. We're going to go in for some very big damage right here. And then we'll go ahead into battle phase. And we'll actually attack with the Numeron monsters to go ahead and boost all our other Numeron monsters by 1,000 attack. Wait, why didn't the... That is strange. It didn't let me trigger their effect. Because normally when you attack with them, at the beginning of the damage step, if this card battled... Oh, it's only an opponent's monster. Sorry, my mistake. If it was anything but a monster, we would be dealing some big damage. So we're going to go ahead and attack him for 3k, doing some very big damage. And then we're going to go into our main phase 2. And we'll go ahead and summon our S0. Then we'll go ahead and set 3 cards. Also set our Altergeist Metaseek because we have not normal summon this turn, and we will pass our turn there. So we know our opponent's playing a level 1 spam deck. We do have the S0 Utopic Exexor, so we will activate this card here. We'll go ahead and discard a number 3 because 3, 2, 1. He's going to go ahead and attempt to Impermanence, but because we have the Solemn Judgment, we are going to activate Solemn Judgment, essentially preventing him from being able to stop doing that. So he goes ahead and goes into his main phase 1, unable to use any monster effects or activate any cards. So we go ahead and draw an Altergeist Metaseek, and we'll go ahead and flip it, and we'll go ahead and flip our Metaseek ourselves. After this, if it will allow me to, we're going to go ahead and normal summon Altergeist Marionetta. And we will go ahead and trigger Marionetta's effect. We'll go ahead and set an Altergeist trap from our deck to the grave onto the board. So it looks like he might have a response to my Altergeist Marionetta, possibly another Impermanence, or maybe a Solemn. In all likelihood, he could be playing some also random cards in general. Like, he could be playing like Phoenix Chain for all we know, and a very old card that was somewhat of a staple. We're going to go ahead and set our Altergeist Manifestation because our opponent can't activate very cards in their turn very easily right now, so there is no point in summoning anything else. We are also going to go ahead and link our Metaseek into a Link Karibo. We'll go ahead and then trigger our Metaseek effect. And it is going to get called by the Grave. Now, that is an issue because now we lose the Metaseek, which I did not want to do there. Well, it's fine. We can still go in for some damage. In all honesty, though, I should have probably just attacked. My brain, because I wanted to go ahead and make Link Karibo. My mistakes. They all misplaced here and there. I had, for some reason, a play in my head where I could summon back the Metaseek. But this is just a friendly, so I'm not looking too deep into the plays. I just want to show you what the deck can basically do. But obviously, if we did attack Mercy, we could have removed that Called by the Grave, thus not getting hit by Called by the Grave. Okay, so he is now on very low life points. Okay, now we'll go into our main phase 2. And we'll go ahead and pass our turn there.
Now, it's his turn. We're going to go ahead and activate the S0 once again, discarding number 2. So he cannot play the game. And he has the impermanence this time, so he will actually be able to trigger his effects. But it's fine, we still have disruptions on the board, so we don't really need to worry about him having the impermanence or any sort of plays in his hand. We have a negate plus a banish on board. He goes ahead and normal summons a Pathfinder. Now, seeing as it looks like he's after a field spell, we're going to go ahead and impermanence that, seeing as that will prevent him from being able to search any field spell from his deck. If he can impermanence me, I'm going to impermanence him. Clear, simple facts. That will then be negated due to the infinite impermanence's effect. Oh, and he's playing the Numeron Network too, so we're up against a Numeron Network mirror match. Okay, so he chooses to activate the Numeron Network, and in response, though, we are going to activate our Altergeist Paleozoic, banishing the field spell to prevent its activation, and discarding Meliseek. So now he will not be able to summon from the extra deck numbers 1, 2, and 3, or even 4 if he's playing that build. So in this case, he's just dead in the water now. He has 1 summon, but next turn we have Zexal, we also have Marionetta. Oh, and he has an impermanent, a Raigeki. But it's fine, seeing as we actually have the Altergeist Manifestation to just be able to attack him directly for game. So he ends his turn, we draw a card. This card is not very helpful right now, but what we can do is just enter the battle phase, activate our Altergeist Manifestation, summoning back Marionetta, and that will give us the game. And our opponent surrenders. So, game 1, Instant Numeron Network. We had it, we didn't go first, but we had a bit of a mirror match against the Numeron deck. So, we're going to go ahead and go into another game, see if we can get the Numeron Network, or are we just going to be playing some standard Altergeist? So, we're just waiting for this Divinity 1191 to do something. Okay, so we will get to go first. Good, Altergeist players wants to go first. And we've opened the Numeron Wall, just showing we have multiple ways to get to the Numeron Network. We're going to go ahead and use it. We're going to go ahead and search Numeron Network. And we're going to go ahead and activate it. Sending Numeron Call to the grave. And summoning 1, 2, and 3. Summon all these beautiful numbers. We will then go ahead and special summon S0, preventing our opponent from having any plays on his turn, and we'll also set Strike and set Spoofing. And we'll also go ahead and set Meliseek, because if it does survive, then we don't need to normal summon it next turn. So we'll go ahead and end turn there. And in the opponent's turn, we will obviously activate S0 to prevent him from being able to have any plays on his turn, and we are going to obviously discard number 3. Because 3, 2, 1. Basically plays I'm going to do. So, he goes ahead and sets one card, and he passes. So, in the end phase, we're going to go ahead and activate our Altergeist Spoofing, or personal Spoofing. We wish it was Altergeist, because then we can set off Marionetta. Go ahead and search to our hand Multi-Faker, trigger Multi-Faker's effect, special summoning, use its effect, special summoning Silcatus. We're going to then trigger our Silcatus, returning the Multi-Faker to hand, and his set card, so we can go in for some big damage. Okay. We drew an infinite impermanence, not really what we need to draw here, but it's fine. So we're going to go ahead and flip the Meliseek. We're also going to turn the Silcatus to attack mode. And we're going to go ahead and activate Personal Spoofing. And we're going to shuffle back our Altergeist Multi-Faker. And with that, we are going to go ahead and add a Marionetta to our hand. Then, what we're going to go ahead and do is, we are going to go ahead and link into our Hextia, trigger the Marionette Meliseek's effect, and we're going to go ahead and add back our Multi-Faker. We're then going to go ahead and normal summon our Marionetta, trigger Marionetta's effect, which will go ahead and set an Altergeist Manifestation. And then we're going to go ahead and set the impermanence and enter the battle phase. And we're going to attack for some very big damage here, over 6k. Almost putting him on death, but not enough. Sadly, it's not very easy to OTK and Altergeist unless you open the manifestation. But we didn't open it, so we couldn't guarantee an OTK. Then in main phase 2, we're going to go ahead and use the Marionette's effect, sending Marionetta to the graveyard and summoning back our Meliseek. Why we're doing this? Well, if you summon back the Meliseek and it's sent to graveyard, you get to search an Altergeist Kukuri, which is very good. Now we're going to go ahead and end our turn. In his draw phase, we're going to go ahead and activate Zexal, preventing him from activating any cards. So we have a 1000 attack point Zexal now, and he goes ahead and sets one, sets another card. Okay, so he does have other plays. And then in the end phase, we're going to go ahead and activate our manifestation, summoning back our Silcatus. And then we go ahead and trigger our Multi-Faker, summoning hit Faker out. Faker effect will be triggered. Summoning out our Meliseek. And Silcatus' effect will be triggered as well, returning Multi-Faker to the hand and his back row just so he can't actually stop us on his turn. Go ahead and let's banish some cards to draw some cards. And we drew a Terraforming, not very useful in this situation, but it's fine because we have game anyway by returning this to the hand and also by returning his monster. And then we just switch the Meliseek to attack, switch this Meliseek to attack, and enter the battle phase and attack with our Hextia. So, game 2, Numeron Network. Very good. Now we'll play one more game, and that will be the video. So we go ahead and we're going to go up against you. It is a best of... we're not going to go against you because your room was full, so we're going to go ahead and click here. And we're going to click on my tick. So hopefully we'll get someone very quickly because, well, we've got one more game to play with the Numeron Altergeist to show you what the deck does. And I think I've pretty much showed you that the deck is very good so far, but I want to give you one more game just to see if we can play it just without some different cards. So, are we going to get an opponent very quickly? Are we not? Like, what's going to happen? Come on. Where's an opponent? You know, I really do. There we go. Like, it sometimes takes a while to get an opponent. So we're going to go rock. He goes paper. That is absolutely fine. Okay, so look at that. We open Numeron Network. And we get to go first. Oh, you shouldn't have, mate. You're letting me go first with Numeron Network. So we're going to send Calling to the Grave. I'm going to summon 1, 2, and 3. And then we get to special summon out our S0. The most broken card in all of one of the most broken cards in all of Yu-Gi-Oh! Set some back row. Because it's a trap-based deck, set the Meliseek, because if it dies, we get to search Multi-Faker, and then we pass our turn and activate S0, preventing him from activating any cards, detaching number 3, because 3, 2, and 1. I'm going to keep making that joke as long as I make this. Oh, and he actually has an impermanence. But you know what? We have the Solemn Judgment for that impermanence. So, you can't play the game, my dude. Here's his main phase. He probably won't have anything to play. He sets one card. He just sets one card. Is that it? And sets another card. Okay. We go ahead and draw for turn. We draw a Kukuri. Not the best draw, but it's fine because we've got 2 Meliseeks to go ahead and attack. So we're going to go ahead and summon both Meliseeks. And we're going to go ahead and enter the battle phase. Meliseek's going to go ahead and do a direct attack. And then she's going to trigger, and we're going to send this random back row to the graveyard. And it wasn't called by the grave. Good thing I actually attacked this time. Okay, we're going to go ahead and attack with our Meliseek. And we're going to also send a monster to the grave. And that was, oh, it seems we're probably playing against a Resonator deck, or potentially a Plunder Patrol deck, because Plunder Patrols have been known to actually play this card, because they are Fiend monsters. Then we're going into our main phase 2. And we'll go ahead and special summon out a Linkuriboh and trigger off Meliseek's effect, which is going to go ahead and add to our hand an obvious Multi-Faker. And our opponent chose to surrender there. Seeing as we have the Morty Faker, we do have a back row that we can trigger, and we also have the S0. So, guys, that is the video, though. Altergeist Numeron in any deck is a very busted engine. Just for the fact that you have so many ways to access it with Numeron Wall, Numeron Network itself, the terraforming. You can even play cards like Pathfinder, the monster equipped spell searcher to go ahead and get it. There are so many ways to access this deck just to be able to get to the Utopic Zexal. And guys, honestly, in general, I wanted to make this video to showcase what the deck can actually do even more, for the pure fact that Numeron Network and Utopic Zexal work very well hand in hand. In my discussion video about these cards, I didn't talk about Utopic Zexal because I didn't think about it until after the video, and when I found out about it, I was like, this is absolutely an insane thing to play, and it's something that, in all honesty, I couldn't believe was Konami made. Being able to give you access to, in any back row deck, to a card that says your opponent cannot activate any card effects, have all your back row still, and also have access to other cards, such as in Elder Lich, you could potentially be summoning the Golden Lord, so you go ahead and discard cards to summon cards, and also summon more monsters. In decks like Burn, you can literally just stun your opponent for a whole turn, giving you more chances to get your burn cards, burn your opponents to death. Again, in Altergeist, you can see I literally just need to summon a Zexal, set some cards, get to a Morty Faker, or even set a Metaseek and pass. Like, this deck, these cards in any back row deck that does not rely on many summons is actually a very busted deck, and it really should be one of the top contenders in the game. So, guys, let's hope that Konami will, the Lords of Konami will ban Utopic Zexal before we even see the Numeron cards. Let's hope we never have to deal with this and just see it in chain burn variants where we play C number 1 and burn our opponent even more. It's still degenerate, but less so than your opponent being unable to play the game at all. Guys, that has been the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Obviously, this was just something to show you a bit of Cancer, what the deck could do, and what the deck is capable of. It is not a fun deck in the slightest. I will be completely honest about that, seeing as soon as you go into any of your plays, you just look at your opponent, say, hey, you can't do anything, so you lose. And have accurate in all your plays still. So, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope it's educational for you to show that this deck is very busted, this card is very busted, and the Numeron cards should not be TCG legal ever. But guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to press the like button. If you want to support the channel in any way, don't forget you can... there's a link in the description. You don't have to click it. You don't have to give me anything. You just liking the video, showing up to the videos is good enough for me. But it does help, and all channel proceeds will go back into the channel. But don't feel pressured. But guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. I have been talking a lot at the end of this video. And yeah, that is Altergeist, Numeron Altergeist. Numeron is done. Later all.